One thing that I've been thinking about pretty consistently over the last, I'd say 4 to 6 months, is just the fact that so many people think that getting to their goals or becoming the most ideal version of themselves is so far out of like their realm of possibility because they're so far away from that version of themselves, and they see that in order for them to get to the places that they want, or in order for them to become the person that they want to be, they have to change so much about themselves, and that becomes very daunting. But once you just stop fantasizing about that version of yourself that you want to become or that you see for yourself, and you just start doing what you know deep down is necessary to become that person, everything just gets so much easier, and you just step into who it is you want to be. Like, stop fantasizing, stop dreaming about it, and just do what you know you ultimately should be doing. We overcomplicate all of this. We overcomplicate the process of making your dreams or making your goals a reality. You know deep down what it is you should be doing. And even if you don't know specifically what you should be doing to get to your specific goals or dreams, you probably know what you should be doing to become a better version of yourself. And chances are your ideal self, who you would like to become, is a better version of you. In every avenue of life that is important to you, every category of life that is a priority to you, that person, your ideal self, is probably a better version than where you are right now. It doesn't mean that you aren't whole. It doesn't mean that you're not complete as you are. It's just there's certain avenues, certain areas of life that you probably care to improve in. And that version of you may be at a different level than where you are right now in those categories, which is fine. But if you want to improve, you probably know already what kind of things you should be doing to improve. Whether that's going to the gym a little bit more frequently than you've been going, whether that's eating a little bit healthier than you have been recently, whether it's not procrastinating, whether it's keeping the promises you made to yourself and other people, whether it's being kinder to yourself or other people, whether it's waking up a little bit earlier. All of these things are going to make a positive impact on you in your life. And when you start doing them consistently, slowly over time, you get to become the person who you see yourself being in your vision. You become the ideal version of yourself as long as you remain committed to that vision and as long as you take consistent action and are disciplined. It is as simple as that. Stop fantasizing and putting that version of you, the ideal version of you, on a pedestal. You can become that person. Becoming that ideal version of you or dream version of you, it will only ever continue to exist in your imagination unless you start doing what you know is necessary in order to genuinely just become that person in your life. And all it takes is discipline and consistency and clarity. Knowing what it is you want and who it is you want to be, taking consistent action, and implementing those small things into your life on a consistent basis that you know is going to better you. You have a dream, you have a goal, you have a life that you see yourself living in your head. It will only continue to exist in your head unless you do something about it. And I knew I wanted to make a recording around this time before the new year about this kind of stuff because obviously at the beginning of the year, so many people have specific goals that they would like to achieve over the course of that next year, over the course of the year. And a lot of people, they're so committed to themselves. They say that they're going to continue to commit to themselves after January and February and March is up. And then slowly over time, their commitment starts to waver, and year after year, they get the same results. If you truly want something and you're disciplined, you are going to make it happen regardless. It doesn't matter what is going on. If you make something a priority, if it is a priority in your life, you're going to make time for it and you will make it happen. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. If you tell yourself and you're honest with yourself, this is what I'm going after, you can make it happen. And this isn't some like motivational, cheesy, like go after your goals. Like, I'm just telling you dead ass, like straight up. Like, if you want something and something is a priority for you, you're going to make time for it. And it won't feel like a sacrifice to not do certain things or not hang out with certain people if you genuinely want the things that you claim you want and say you want. If you start taking small steps, if you start doing small things in your life, implementing small positive changes, small positive habits that help you become a better version of you, that help you develop a better mindset, that help you grow and build a better body, that nurture you you start doing things that just better your overall well-being. Like, you're going to become a better version of yourself. And by becoming a better version of yourself, everything around you improves. You attract better things into your life. You're more magnetic. Opportunities come your way. When you become a better version of you, when you become kinder to yourself and other people, when you start implementing small things into your life, like I said, waking up earlier, going to the gym, eating healthier, it can literally be as easy as just picking up a healthier option at the grocery store. Like, small things. I'm not talking about anything massive here. Small things will compound. So if you start doing those small things into your life, you're going to see positive changes happen in your life, which is going to give you confidence because you're going to look around and see how you're bettering yourself. Like, you're better than the way that you were a month ago or 2 months ago or 5 months ago. If you start practicing gratitude a little bit more than you have been, if you take time out of your day to be present, if you take time out of your day to just be by yourself and take inventory of how you're feeling and the progress that you're making towards your goals, whether or not you're really being consistent, having those check-ins with yourself and not getting distracted by social media or whatever the case might be, you're going to look around and start noticing these positive changes in your life. And as you continue to take action, as you continue to stay disciplined, as you continue to keep the promises you made to yourself and wake up a little bit earlier and do all those other things that you know you should be doing to help better you, you're going to step into that ideal version of yourself. You're going to become more aware of things that are in alignment with who you want to be, and you are going to become more aware of what isn't in alignment with who you want to be or what you want to be about. The more often you start doing those things that you know is in alignment, and the more often you stop doing things that aren't in alignment, you just get better and better and better and better, and just compounds and compounds. And you step into that ideal version of yourself. You become that person. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no overnight success. You just chip away, and become that person. You truly have the ability to decide who it is you would like to be. Whenever anything happens, whenever anyone is speaking to you, or there's a situation you need to take action or you need to respond in a particular way, take a moment for presence, be in the moment, and ask yourself, how would the most ideal version of myself respond in this situation? How would the most aligned, centered, present version of myself act in this particular circumstance? Just be conscious, be aware, and then act in that way. That's you taking a step closer to becoming that person. It's literally as simple as that. People overcomplicate this. If you want your dream to stay in your head and that's it, then don't act on the kind of things that I'm talking about here. This is something that I am currently implementing into my life and that I have been, and I'm seeing the positive changes happen in my life. Personally, myself, I'm talking about me, Sam. My ability to just navigate life has improved dramatically since I've started to take small steps every single day towards becoming the ideal version of myself. Whether that is no longer reacting to things that happen in my life, being able to respond to those situations, how focused and disciplined I am towards taking consistent action towards my mission, my purpose, and my vision. my ability to be present with myself and other people, my ability to look around and be grateful for the fact that I see all these people on social media, for example, living a life that I am inspired by. I am not envious towards those people. I am inspired by those people. I am grateful that it's in my sphere of reality. I see people living a certain life that I would like to one day live, or that I see myself living, and I'm grateful that I even see it. That's the mindset that I have. Abundance mindset. Others can win and I can win. I wish everyone success. My mindset has completely changed just because I'm focused on bettering myself. I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on the commitment that I've made to myself towards my betterment. And I don't want my dream to stay like a dream. Like I don't want it to stay in as a fantasy. Like I'm actually taking action, inspired action, towards making it happen. And it feels great. This recording is a perfect example of that. Whenever I make these recordings, it feels on purpose. I feel like I should be doing it. When you make the decision to work towards becoming that person, when you make the decision and an honest commitment to yourself that you're going to start implementing small things into your life towards becoming that person, your life will change. But it will only change once you make that decision. So if you're listening to this recording before January 2025, before the new year, I urge you to get clear about who that ideal version of yourself is. Map out a plan to make it happen. Commit to yourself. Make it a priority, and you will change your life. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen quickly per se, but why would you want it to happen quickly? You're developing character. You're building up your mindset. You're figuring out who you want to be and what you want to stand for, the kind of standard that you set as an individual. When you start getting clear about those values and principles and standards that you want to live by, and you're getting clear about that, and then you start implementing those things into your life, and you start noticing that you're actually living by a certain set of standards, do you know how incredibly rewarding that feeling is? Getting clear about what it is, not only what it is you want, but also how you want to live your life. That should take time. It shouldn't be something that gets done overnight. If you want lasting change, it's going to take time, because you're shifting who it is you really are on like an identity level. This is your life. Like, this isn't something that is a game. It's not something that should be quick. It's not something that you should want to take overnight. Of course, we all want to see positive changes be implemented into our life quickly, but the change that's really going to last is change that gets developed over time. It's not something that should be instant. You should want it to take time, because that's when you're going to really learn. That's when it's going to be really valuable. You becoming who it is you see yourself being requires time for you to learn certain things in order to become that person. It's not something that should be quick or cheap. Let it happen the way that God intended it to happen. Let it happen in a way that is in alignment with truly who it is you want to be. Good things take time, but make it a priority. Understand that once it's a priority, it's going to get done. You're going to make it happen. And whether or not you have to sacrifice certain things, that's cool too, because this is what is ultimately important to you. There's a bridge between where it is you are right now, the version of yourself right here, right now, and your ideal version of yourself. Every aligned step you take is you walking across that bridge. Everything that you do that is in alignment with that ideal version of you is you taking one step towards crossing that bridge. And one day you will wake up and be the ideal version of yourself. You'll look around and you'll see how your life has changed. But all it starts with is making that decision. So I urge you to make that decision, commit to yourself, figure out who it is you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, and then make it happen. Make it happen. So thank you for listening to these recordings. I appreciate you being here and being a part of Presence of Being and the community that we're building at Presence of Being. I hope that when you listen to this, you see that all of these recordings are me taking steps. Like, I have a goal, right? Like, I'm doing this because I want to help people, and it's like genuinely therapeutic for me to make these videos, make these recordings. But like, I am working throughout all of this with all of you. I'm on this journey as well. I have an ideal version of myself that I see myself being, and I'm taking consistent action towards becoming that person also. Sometimes I slip up, and some days aren't good, and some days things are going great. But these recordings are me taking that step. I feel genuinely like whenever I post one of these or make one of these or edit one of these, I'm taking a step towards crossing that bridge and becoming that person. That's what I see for myself. So I'm on this journey as well. So I appreciate you all listening and for being a part of the Presence of Being community. Genuinely, I actually just made a TikTok video about this, but let me just pull this up quickly. Spotify Wrap just came out, but it also came out for creators. So if you have a podcast linked with your Spotify, they release stats for your show. So mine, here it is. So the Presence of Being podcast was streamed in 89 countries, which is insane. It was a top 10 show for over 1,300 fans, a top 5 show for 884 fans, and it was the top show for 246 fans, which is absolutely wild, absolutely crazy. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. So thank you very much for listening and for being a part of everything that we're building here. It really, really, really means a lot to me. All the messages, reviews, comments, everything. So I have a lot of exciting plans for 2025 in terms of the podcast and just the growth of Presence Being in the community. Thank you for being on this journey with me and being along for the ride. And I'll see you in the next recording very soon.